a 3-banded armadillo, and they live in Brazil. So now that I picked her up, she's in a ball. You see, this is her head, this is her tail.
She's scared of everyone.
That's right. So they always sleep in a ball as well. So why do they always sleep in a ball?
They probably
It's their defense. And they always leave a little bit cracked. So what happens is, let's say the predator comes over and sees what they're doing. If the predator sticks a part of their paw or their face or their nose or up to it, they'll snap it shut and it hurts really bad. I mean, they're tight, it doesn't open. So the outside, so this is a mammal. So now we're gonna talk about what makes a mammal a mammal. They're different from our snake and our bird, right? So, thoughts?
One time if we creep up on an armadillo and you see them, they jump 40 feet high in the sky.
That's their defense, right? They pop up. So there's 20 different kinds of armadillos. In the United States, we have one, the 9-banded armadillo. The other 19 live in South America, but the 3-banded is the only one that can roll into a ball. So, what makes a mammal a mammal? What's your thoughts?
I actually saw some armadillos inside the wild while I was on vacation.
You may have. Yes, ma'am.
What makes a mammal is sometimes we have fur, like more mammals.
Fur, just like your dogs or cats. Fur, right? So you really don't see that she has fur. So she has this hard shell on the outside called a carapace, and it's made out of the same stuff as our hair and fingernails. Do any of you guys know that word?
No, I was going to say one of the things that makes a mammal a mammal is you have live babies.
Live babies, that's correct. So she would have live babies, and what do live babies drink?
Milk.
Milk, so they would have milk. So does anyone know what our hair and fingernails are made out of? Starts with a K. Keratin. So she has this hard shell on the outside, and it feels kind of like our fingernails. So let me see. Let's see if we put her down and she opens up. She's like, I gotta smell it. So all armadillos have really bad vision, and kind of like our friend back there said, they pop up really high. So if they have bad vision, they rely on their other senses so they can smell really well. Because these guys like to eat bugs. They're big bug eaters, and so they're always smelling for bugs. So now you see her head came out, her ears popped out, and she's leaving a trail of pine shavings behind her. See, she's smelling. She's like, there's got to be something good here.
Oh my!
But you see those long nails in the front? I'll turn her around so you can see over here.
Weird.
So she has those long nails in front because they have to have those to dig, right? So they're digging, looking for their food. So she has those long nails. See her long nails in the front?
So cute.
So she's full grown. She's 8 years old. This is Juanita. Way smaller than the 9-banded we have here. I mean, 9-banded are like this big, so totally different. But they all are nocturnal animals. So who can tell me what nocturnal means? My friend in the very back.
They sleep at night. They sleep at night. They wake up at night and sleep in the morning.
Yes. So they get up at night. So can you see? Let's see. I'll stand up so you can see her nails. So she has these long nails in the front for digging. And she has this little bit of fur around the edges because they like to dig. They don't, when they're digging, they don't want to, since they curl in a ball, wouldn't it be terrible to have all this dirt and mud on your belly? So it has all this fur around the edge, so when they're digging, it hopefully doesn't all go to the inside of her belly.
Oh my!
See?
So
See her long nails? See her little ears now that they unfolded when she opened up? Her eyes are on the top of her head. You see her eyes?
Oh, they're so cute.
See, let's see. Put her back down here. Oh, I'll put her here so you can see her move. They're pretty fast. All armadillos are fast, but she looks like she's just kind of floating down the floor.
Can she climb?
She's smelling. She says there's some good smells here.
Can she climb?
No, she's not a good climber at all. She definitely stays on the ground. She would burrow holes to stay in.
She's like, I can't burrow holes here. Mine is 4 foot so solid.
end, we could, if she doesn't open. So anytime, so then if we want her to go into a ball, you can see her head is gonna go, her ears, let's like fold in half and go back down into that.
She's like that tickles. She turned it back into a ball.
See? And then it all closes back up. There's her head and there's her tail. Her ears folded back in. And she's a tight ball. So her diet in captivity is they make an insectivore pellet. She likes a little bit of bananas, a little bit of sweet potato. She loves banana, but she loves mealworms. Lots of mealworms and superworms. Is what I'm talking every day. And no, she's just treating it into pieces. Any questions about the armadillo? These guys live about 20 years in captivity. They're pretty heavy. They're not like super lightweight. They're dense. She is 8. Is she the smallest? I think there might be one a little bit smaller. We have at the animal park, besides these guys, we have hairy armadillos, and they again look totally different. Their shell is just on top of their skin. It doesn't come down, so they don't have that protection. Okay, so now we're going to see another reptile, but it's super cool. So totally different than Draco. Anyone know what this is?
I don't know.
It looks different than the snake if you look at that face. I like her answer. What do you say? You got your hand up. So look at his face really well, because it looks totally different from its eyes look different, right? Yes, ma'am. No, you're right. It is. It's a lizard, and it has kind of like a gecko face. So if you look at the face, it has eyelids. So when it sleeps, it closes its eyes. But you just saw it stick out its tongue, right? No, it's called a legless lizard. He's a European legless lizard. So he has a forked tongue just like the snake, but he eats insects. So he doesn't eat the meat. So he doesn't. He's just a legless lizard. If you were to take an x-ray of his body, you know, to see his bones, you would see these tiny little, they're called vestigial, these tiny little legs on that x-ray. But you see the side, on the side of his body, see that long line? So the long line down the side of the body is his torso. Where that ends is where his tail begins. So he really doesn't, like other lizards, like his tail break off. I mean, it would take a lot for his tail to fall off. So you see how he has eyelids, where the snake had just big eyes? He also has tiny little dots on the side of his head. He has ears, because lizards have ears. You've seen like bearded dragons, they have big holes on the side of their head for ears. So he feels totally different. He does have scales, but he sheds in pieces versus a whole shed like a snake. And you can usually see like on the side, if we stay still, you can see him like usually breathing. Like you can see that line kind of going in and out. Yeah, he's not interested in eating us or biting on us or anything.
Does he have sharp fangs?
No, he doesn't have the teeth. Like Draco has about 180 teeth, that snake. This guy, he's a bug. He has some small teeth, but nothing like the snake has lots of teeth because he eats differently. He needs those big teeth for eating that meat, right? So you see the line down the side of his body? So that's his torso, and the rest of it is his tail.
This is a really uncomfortable chair.
No, he's nice and little. He doesn't move like a snake. He does kind of slither, but not as much as like a snake. And our last animal is another mammal. So this is Tina. No.
It's a porcupine.
No, so Tina is a tenrec. Tenrecs come from Madagascar. So they look kind of like hedgehogs, but they're not. They're not even related. This animal's in the same family as, you ready? It's super soft. Have you ever felt a hedgehog before?
Yeah.
They're super pointy and they make your hands kind of hurt, right? These guys, their hair is much softer. And these guys, the hedgehogs roll up in a ball because that's their defense, right? These animals aren't so defensive. They kind of go after whoever comes after them. So they're not afraid. So lives in Madagascar. That's the only place you would find these. She is semi-arboreal, meaning she can climb stuff really well. I don't know if she can get up to that, but these guys, they're related to like an otter shrew, but like same family grouping as like an elephant. They are elephant, sea cow, aardvark.
Can she see them?
No, thank you. They don't. So one, they're nocturnal animal. Their vision isn't all that well, so they rely on one. She's got big ears, for her size, and she can smell really well. But they love to eat insects. There's a couple other different kinds of tenrecs that will eat some meat, but this variety just likes to eat some bugs and a little bit of plants.
Are they in the same class as elephants or the same?
It's higher up there.
Higher up.
Yeah. So this is a lesser hedgehog tenrec. But I'm trying to think of the word. So they look like other animals, but they're not even genetically, they're apples and oranges. And these guys in captivity can live about 18 years, in the wild not so long, because they have to worry about predators, right? Birds, snakes. What's your question? She's 7 years old.
Oh, I'm 7.
And these guys will hibernate also, or go into what's called torpor. So they do. So we have a boy. He sleeps half of the year. Yes, ma'am.
What was that snake that you on Armadillo? How old was he?
The legless lizard. He is, I think, about 9.
That's how old my car was.
Yes, sir. What's your question? You have a question? Do you want to think about it? Which one? Which animal is Which one? The legless lizard? So you have, okay, so listen, who can remember the bird's name? Zoe, good job. Who can remember the snake's name? Draco. Then we did the armadillo. I didn't tell you her name. Maybe I mentioned it once. It's Juanita. Is the armadillo. And then we had the legless lizard, which is Luther. And then this is Tina, the tenrec. Your cat lived a long time to be 18 years old. That's a long time for a cat. Yes, ma'am.
My next door neighbor, her name is. I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah?
She died on Sunday.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question? We're very sad. Your mom. Nice. What's your? Can we touch her? No, we're not going to touch her. We'll touch the bird. Okay. You want to touch the bird? It's super soft. We can try the armadillo too.
Yeah.
So do you want to see her up close? Because you guys don't get to really see her up close. See her big ears? It helps her listen. She's not as pokey as you think she is. No, we're not going to touch her.
She looks pretty spooky to me.
They're really soft.
They're kind of pokey.
Not really. I mean, it doesn't hurt to touch her. No, we're not gonna touch. We'll pet Zoe. Zoe likes for you to pet her, so we'll pet Zoe, okay? So you see all that amazing paper Zoe's just shredding. So, like your dogs and cats, do you give them fun things to do? They need something called enrichment. So they need stuff to do that makes them happy. So she loves to eat this paper. Can you step up?
Hello.
Can you say hello? Are you pretty good? See you girl? Yeah, can you say hello? Don't be shy. So right now she seems happy. If she's shy, her feathers come over her beak right here. She didn't fly. She did. So birds go to the bathroom a lot, right? Don't you ever see bird poop on your cars? So the birds go to the bathroom a lot. Why do you think birds have to go potty all the time? Why do you think?
Because
What
it's
do you
eat a
think?
lot.
Why do you think a bird has to go? So like outside, our cars get pooped on when they're parked underneath the trees a lot, right? So like a pigeon poops over 100 times a day. So,
What?
So why do you think the birds have to poop all the time? What do birds do all the time?
Eat.
Fly. So imagine if they held it all day long. They might be a little too heavy to fly, right? So birds have to go to the bathroom all the time because that helps keep them light. Their bones are hollow. Our bones are dense and strong. Theirs are hollow. That helps make them light to fly. And then they poop all the time because that makes them light to fly. They can't hold it all day. So she poops several times a day. She does. So we're gonna so she likes to. You can pet her on the back like here. Or you can, she likes it right here, like she'll hold her wing up. See how she's doing that? This is super soft. So when you pet her right here, if you do that, you'll notice your hands is super soft. They almost feel like you just put lotion on them. That's that powder that keeps her waterproof. So that means she's a healthy bird, and by having that powder, it helps the rain just bead right off. It's kind of oil, it feels like lotion.
Hello. 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 Hello, Zoe. I'm mad at you. Hello, Zoe.
She says, let me fix my feathers and make myself beautiful. So they.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, everyone. Bye. We'll see you later.